The football helmet. In the game of tackles and tumbles, helmets are an essential part. Football helmets are made with several different parts: a shell, jaw pads and air bladders, face mask, chin straps, and the mouth guard. The helmet shell. The shell has two primary layers, the outer and the inner shell. The outer shell of the football helmet is made from polycarbonate. That is a strong, flexible, and durable plastic. It is designed to protect against the force of impact to a player's head. The inner shell is a layer of padding, usually made of foam. The harder layer is to protect the skull, while the cushioning is meant to absorb hits. Jaw pads and air bladders. Jaw pads must be fitted properly to ensure that the lower part of the helmet is snug against the player's face. The pads inside the helmet is there to provide safety and comfort. The padding helps take in the force of impact. The padding is secured by Velcro or snaps to keep it in. Padding consists of both foam, rubber pads, and inflatable air pads. Both the top and side padding include inflatable bladders that customize the fit. The helmets that most NFL teams use are remarkably light, and once the pads are in place, the helmet is essentially glued on. There is no movement or shifting. The face mask. The improvements in face mask designs have created more protection for a player's facial bones and mouth area. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and defensive backs traditionally wear face masks protecting the jaw and part of the nose while providing a greater line of vision. Linemen and linebackers wear face masks that provide full facial protection. Chin straps and the mouth guard. The chin strap must be properly fastened. Once the strap is fastened and tight enough, it prevents the helmet from moving from the player's head in any manner. Mouth guards are optional for players.
Okay, moving on to how football helmets are tested. To test rotational acceleration, labs will put helmets onto a crash test dummy-like head with a movable neck. A machine then positions a ram to hit the head from different directions, at different speeds, and as if different sized players were behind the impact. If there's a hard impact, an alert is sent to an alert monitor to the sideline of information they wouldn't have otherwise. A tool that they use is an alert monitor. The alert monitor is to make the coaches or sideline aware of any damages done to the helmet. A unique feature on the front of the shell allows flexibility when there's an impact. Football helmets are tested on a yearly basis by reconditioning specialists. Any helmet not in good shape cannot be used again. One problem with current testing is that sizes smaller than 65/8 usually would not fit the smallest National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment head forms. In that event, testing of that size is waived as long as the other sizes of that model have been tested and meet all requirements. The implementation of NERMIS-sized head forms would be more appropriate. In addition, to obtain a reasonable fit for testing purposes, helmets larger than size 75/8 may require shim pads to be inserted between the largest head forms and the interior of the helmet, opposite from the impact site.
Next, we will talk about the evolution of the football helmet. The first documented use of a helmet during a football game occurred during an Army-Navy game in 1893. Initially, the helmets consisted mainly of leather. Metal alloys were added with time to provide more support and protection. Helmets didn't become mandatory for the NCAA until 1939, and they did not become mandatory for the NFL until 1940. As you can see, the football helmets have holes for the ears. Although they have holes in the helmet for the player to hear, it provides enough protection to prevent cauliflower ears, which occur from repeated hits causing the cartilage to damage in the ear. The first single bar mask appearing in 1951 and the first double bar mask appearing in 1958, both tackling dry fatalities and head injuries, continued to increase, whereas spine injuries decreased between 1955 to 1964. Increased injuries resulted in prospect collection of injury data, which was initiated in 1967. As a result, there was a continued increase in head and spine injuries from 1965 to 1974. Critical changes became apparent in the prospect qualities of football helmets beginning in 1970s. Finally, we will end with what football helmets protect against and what they do not protect against. Football helmets are designed to lower the risk of player concussions and prevent such injuries such as facial lacerations, bone fractures, tooth loss, skull fractures, and bleeding in the brain. The helmet has come a long way, but there is still room for improvement. The helmets do not protect football players from concussions. The brain of many former football players have shown signs of neurodegenerative disease. The effect of this condition can include debilitating symptoms such as memory loss, impaired judgment, erratic behavior, and depression. Thank you. I'ma drink so much that I can't make it home. So would you take me home?